So, how's everything going?
Well, I'm fine. Today is the first day of spring here with 20 degrees Celsius.
That's good.
So it's warm, like
Yeah.
in summer almost.
Wow, that's pretty warm. You're in Berlin?
Yeah, it's incredible because like a few days ago we really had winter with snow and such
Mm-hmm.
things. So it's really it's really
It's
a
nice.
tremendous change.
Yeah, hopefully your summer's not too hot.
I hope so too.
I was in Europe last year and it got really hot. It was hotter than here, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, but I remember you told me it was in Spain.
Yeah.
I expect Germany to be less hot. This last summer in Germany was pretty wet and not really hot at all.
Oh, wow. So anyway, let me introduce you. This is Tad, and I have the pleasure of working with Tad at Crazy Egg, and he kind of exposed me to a different way of doing social media, and I call it Tad style. And the reason why I want to interview Tad is I still see some people doing social media wrong, and even I still do it sometimes. And there's been millions of articles written on how to do it right. So I think it's a really good idea to talk to Tad because I think he does social media really well. And so today we're going to ask him a few questions so he can enlighten us as to how to get your channels on social media going really well and get the right energy and, to do it well for your business. So before I get going, is there anything you want to tell me or the audience or make any little remarks?
Yeah, hello everybody, and thank you for having me.
Great. Well, we're glad to have Tad here. We're just starting a new podcasting series, so I'm very excited to start it off with such a great guy. So I'm just going to get into it. My first question is, I noticed that you rarely post B2B content to Twitter, while everyone else is constantly blasting away every couple hours. So what's your philosophy behind not overdoing it? Let's just start with that.
Good question. Twitter, as you may know, has introduced an algorithm I don't remember when exactly, maybe a year or two ago. And since then, every tweet you post is counted as measured and counted as a ranking signal like on Google.
Oh,
so
interesting.
the moment you post something, nobody reacts. You basically lost your authority. Then Twitter measures that you just don't get any engagement at all. So if you post like several tweets a day with links to outgoing pages, then most people are okay. Another link. I have seen like 100 links already. So just let him do it. I won't go there.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing happens. And then Twitter notices, and next time they won't even display your tweets to those followers who didn't react.
Okay.
That's what happens.
This kind of makes me wonder, does Twitter treat businesses different than just individuals? Like, say you're just a kid and you just blurt out stuff all day long. Do they treat the kid different than a business?
That's not the case in the sense you probably think about, but a business with a logo is treated differently by people. Mm. So when you see a face of someone, even if it's just a tiny avatar, mm-hmm. then you talk and socialize like with a real person.
Okay, interesting.
But the moment you see a logo and you don't even know who is behind this logo, who speaks to me, mm-hmm. and then people are like, okay, then maybe I won't say anything, or why should I engage with?
There's no personality.
Anonymous account. Basically, I just know this is a brand, but I've heard of them, but who is the person? I don't care at all. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, Twitter or any other social site will take it into account that mm-hmm. People just ignore you most of the time and don't engage because you just displaying your logo and talking down on people by stuffing your timeline with links and links and links, and in the worst case, self-promotional links.
Okay, so this is the question that most people wonder. Then is, their assumption most likely is if I post more, won't I get more traffic? Right? But obviously you're saying there's a fine balance, and to take it a step further, it's like, don't even tweet if you really have nothing good to say.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be very cautious what you tweet. Mm-hmm. As I said, every time you say something, it's counted, and every time you post something that it's when it's irrelevant or just boring or just repetitive, then people don't engage, don't share, don't retweet, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then next time, fewer people will see your update. So what you have to do is really tweet things that matter. And in most cases, conversational tweets matter. People just care about little things like what happened on their latest flight, or how did they perform at the conference, or that they got awarded the latest award or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you have to say, congratulations, or great flight, and whatever.
Okay. All right. We'll get into more about the tricks of your trade in a second. I like to mix up my questions to keep it interesting. So one thing I noticed about Tad is he likes sombreros. I see that in your avatars. Can you tell us the backstory behind your hat?
This is a funny story, but I have to tell it finally, I guess. Basically, when I started out on the internet, it was like 20 years ago already.
Yeah.
so back then it was like being anonymous, or using only a nickname and using a funny avatar.
Yeah.
And you didn't really want people to know who you are and where you live. And in my case, especially with my strange sounding name, because Tadeusz Szewczk is very common in Poland, but even in Germany, and especially in English-speaking countries, it's like, what's your name?
Yeah.
So later I made it up to sound better by shortening it. So it's Ted Chef now, if you want. But back then it was like, nobody would even consider using his real name. It started with Facebook, really. That people were forced to use their real name.
That's exactly how I was. I don't even use my real name on Facebook.
Excuse me?
I don't even use my real name on Facebook, and I never understood why people were so willing to give out their information.
Yeah. So finally, more people understand now. I guess with all the Facebook privacy disasters in recent months and years. Yeah. So basically, when I started to use social media for business, I was like, okay, you can't come up with a completely anonymous logo-like or funny or stupid avatar, because you have to talk to business people, and people need to take you seriously. So then I was like, I want to be treated like a human being, but I still want to be ridiculous and memorable.
Yeah.
So then I came up with this pretty obvious metaphor of being a white hat SEO.
Oh.
And then I just did a Google search and searched for white hat, and this is what I found.
I see.
So basically, it's not even me, but this guy looked really similar to me. So I was like, yeah, it could have been me. So why not use this as an avatar?
Okay, cool.
And it worked. It worked. People remember me. Even people like Rand Fishkin recognized me based on my stupid, ridiculous avatar.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it works in a sense.
Well, it's funny how it's such a simple little, I guess, a hack, and no one does it, right? And it works for you.
But it's not really new. I basically had in my mind, in the back of my head, the Uncle Ben's brand. You know, this rice brand.
Oh, with the chef hat. Is that what he wears?
I'm not sure. It's just that it's not really the Uncle Ben who produces this rice.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a real person behind the brand in a way. Right. I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Most probably. but it's easy to remember. It's probably the only rice brand I remember. I'm not sure if you are aware of another rice.
We eat a lot of rice at my house, so.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure people have it in the US. But,
yeah, we do. It's not, it's not as popular as it used to be, but it's still. I think they still stock it. So.
Yeah. Okay. So great. So you know what I mean. And
yep.
It's similar.
Okay. What about? Here's what the next question is. Another thing I noticed is that you spend a lot of time in the comments and conversing in Twitter threads and Facebook. Why do all businesses seem to forget to do this? What are they missing out on?
I think the main problem with businesses is that nobody really feels responsible. Mm-hmm. I think many people still underestimate the importance of social media, so they have the intern or someone who's completely new or someone who doesn't even know how to use social media, tending the social media accounts.
Yeah.
Even many businesses do not even tend it at all. So they are like ignoring people. I often experience it myself because I just address someone on Twitter or most often a business saying like, hey, you have a broken link here or you have a bug there, and sometimes nobody responds like for a week or basically never. So when you watch the news about social media disasters, you often will see someone posting private messages on the business account to millions of people in the worst case.
Yeah.
Like something like porn or something very, very inappropriate when
or a
when
virus.
People die, for instance. Yeah. So some brands try to hijack this topic and then they advertise their product. So this is really ridiculous. And this is why most brands and most businesses fail. They either have very low level people doing this, or people, or not at all people. They just automate and then they just blast, as you say, people messages to people who just get inundated.
That's right. All right, I might come back to this question because it made me think of something else. But to move forward, here's my next question. What do you recommend for the small business that just started? It has 12 followers on Twitter, maybe 4 likes on Facebook. What path should they travel down? Maybe it's not about getting more followers, but what should they be doing?
At first, I would listen to people on social media who talk about your topics, your business, your products, or the products of your competition. Or not really competition, because on social media, we really do not compete with everybody else. That wouldn't work. Competing with millions of other small businesses. You rather cooperate. But this is just another story. My main point is that you have to listen first to find out where your actual audience is, and then try to respond to the questions they already ask. You very often have people asking like, what's the best hosting, and where can I get this and that, and just by listening to these questions, you can already start a conversation. And then you can look who talks about these topics, then follow them, and then being helpful makes them notice you sooner or later. So after a while, you get a following, And as these people remember that you helped them, and that you share content that is relevant, ideally, and not just your own, but you curate content from other sources, ideally those that matter, not just your friends.
Yep.
Or not just the mainstream publications that everybody knows and shares already. And then these people remember you, and they reciprocate.
Yeah.
Reciprocate, I think.
Very good.
So it really starts by listening, by being helpful, and by sharing.
I think a lot of people don't know how to listen on social media, right? I think for us, we know how you do it, but I think a lot of people who are starting out don't understand the actual, like what you actually do and what functionality you need to employ.
Oh, that's a good point. But the easiest way is just to search for your keywords or your topics or your products on Facebook itself, on Twitter itself, on Pinterest, and then you already will find many people who share stuff that matters to you and to your potential customers. And from then on, you can use advanced search, or you can just click through to similar people, because you often see content that is related, especially on Pinterest, for example, or you see friends that are connected to these people, and Facebook and Twitter will already suggest you to follow them, and so on and so forth. So basically, start with search, and then you can go on to more advanced tools. And I mean social media search itself. Search Facebook, search Twitter, search Pinterest, not just Google.
Yes. Yeah, I think Twitter advanced search is amazing.
Yeah. I also use TweetDeck, and you can really automate search then. And every time someone mentions my website, for example, I get notified, and so on. So it's once you start, then you can use more advanced tools, and you can also use paid tools and so on. The same tools that allow to automate often also search and listen automatically for you. Oh,
you recommend TweetDeck?
Yeah, I use it like for 5 years or longer. Okay. At least 5 years.
All right, that's a good tip. My next question is Facebook 2018. It's pretty heavy. Do you think Facebook is going to slowly die? And what do you think established brands should do with their Facebook strategy this year?
I predicted that Facebook will die like 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And here I am. I wasn't right. Facebook is still there. And despite all the scandals, and despite all the privacy disasters, despite all the bad business decisions, fake news, and all that crap, they are still there, and they won't go away, because they also buy all the new social media sites, so Instagram and WhatsApp and everybody else is owned by Facebook already, it seems sometimes. Mm-hmm. So basically you have to adapt. You can't just say, hey, Facebook will die anyway, and we can ignore them. That's too early.
And then, but with the algorithm updates, like if you're posting to Facebook now, you're not going to get as many organic. Your organic reach is a lot less, right? So what do you tell people to do now that things are a little different and the ecosystem's different?
Well, as we said earlier, most brands still do social media, and especially Facebook, wrong. Mm-hmm. So they basically, even those that are quite good at Facebook, they broadcast. They share their own stuff most of the time. Yeah. So when they have a big audience, or in the past, when the audience did see their updates, it was fine. Yeah. But the audience is not engaged now unless you engage with it. So basically, you have to go out there and engage with your friends and fans. You just can't wait until they come to you and engage with you. You have to be proactive. So basically, what we did at Crazy Egg was right. As social media management and audience building, we basically started to talk to the others, to the other businesses, to the freelancers, to the fans, directly on their profiles, on their pages.
Yeah, that was a great move,
and so on and so forth.
Yeah, there was definitely more realness to our brand because of that.
Yeah, and that's because Facebook now prefers or really pushes friends and family again. So you can't become family, but you can become friends.
That's true. That's a good way to put it. All right. I have one more question, or maybe I have more. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is getting deep. What do you recommend B2B companies to do with Instagram? It seems like only fashion and lifestyle things B2C seem to work. There must be an angle for B2B.
Yeah, that's another great question. I thought about that. But in general, Instagram is, of course, for visual content. So for every other social media service or site or app, I'd recommend building up an audience for yourself in a way. But on Instagram, it was the first site I gave up from day one because I knew I wasn't young, sexy enough for Instagram. Even though I practiced parkour, I'm climbing on walls and stuff.
That sounds like great Instagram content.
Yeah, but it would be off topic. I would be not really attracting marketers or optimizers or people who care about their websites and blogs.
Social media parkour guy, like.
Yeah,
it's like a social media ninja.
I do that on Quora, for example. I just respond to questions about parkour. But let's return again to Instagram. And there is a simple solution for that. Basically, you have plenty of Instagram superstars or influencers already. So you just have to look up who these people are and connect with them and let them promote you. Either by paying them, or ideally by being friends with them, so that they love you without money being added. You can always also use the geekifying method.
Oh, what's that?
when you attract the geeks. The people who really care for some topics, then you can go viral on any site, any social site. So I once said in regard to Pinterest, when in doubt, add Star Wars to it.
Add
so
what?
Basically, you can put Darth Vader on your latest ad or poster. And or Stormtrooper or
Star Wars stuff. Okay.
Yeah, Star Wars,
the
movie.
That's interesting.
So basically, there are geeks for other topics as well, as you probably know. But Star Wars is like the most well known. Everybody knows Star Wars.
Yep.
So when you add Star Wars to it, you can promote any product. So there are similar techniques like this, but basically you have to make your product more attractive, more visually attractive. And if it's boring, I mean, for most people, search engine optimization is completely boring. They don't care about it. It's not visual. You can't really see what people are doing. So for example, what I did like 10 years ago, I made a list of the best looking SEO websites. And back then they looked horrible, most of them. So this list was like huge. It went viral, of course, just in the niche of SEO, but nonetheless. and it was just B2B, as you say, and I just made it visually more effective.
Yeah, that's all. You just got to be a little creative with everything, and it does wonders.
Yeah.
All right, I have a really important question to ask you. What's your favorite food?
Yeah, I'm vegan, as you may have noticed on my Twitter biography.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not shooting anybody. I have to apologize for the current news. You have probably listened today.
Or
read.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That was terrible. I think people who don't want to harm animals but harm people are like people who burn woods to save trees.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the reality of the situation is, I mean, there's 350 million people in America, and we have crazy people here. Like, 1 out of 350 million people are going to be crazy. I mean, I don't know what else.
So I'm not one of those.
Yeah.
I'm not even based in the US. I'm in Berlin, Germany. But I eat tofu like almost every day.
Tofu. Hey, you should come to my house, man. We eat a lot of tofu here.
Yeah, excellent. So you're very progressive. Because until a few years ago, I didn't even know what that was.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, well, tofu, and then my wife made it, and I was like, ooh, it tastes like nothing.
Well, yeah, there's ways to make it good.
It's a huge step for me to become almost vegan by now, because I have to admit I ate some eggs during Easter. Oh,
okay.
So I'm not completely
almost there
yet, but tofu is like really I could eat it every day, and you can make it can taste any way you want because you can just add some spices.
That's true. It absorbs flavor pretty well.
Yeah, it's excellent for that. So you can eat tofu and it tastes different every day.
All right, let's move on to my next question. Who do you think the top social media people are that people should follow, and why?
So you probably mean the social media people who cover social media itself.
Yeah.
So I have to admit that I didn't really want to recommend anybody because I may sound strange, but I don't read much about social media anymore. Maybe I'm too good at it by myself, but I think because most of the advice is like automate and leverage and utilize and do this and that and pay for ads, and this is not the advice I want to listen or read every day. I mean, I follow some publications like Social Media Examiner by Michael Stelzner. I hope I pronounced the name right. But it's not that I have a list I could recommend to you. Okay,
that's fair. Yeah, the only guy I like right now is I'm really into Larry Kim, but maybe because he's weird like me, so I vibe off him. Right? And he has some social media tips once in a while.
I considered to recommend Larry.
Yeah.
But he's already so prominent that he doesn't need it anymore. So everybody knows him already.
Yeah.
So it would be like Captain Obvious. You know? I could also say Neil Patel then, because everybody knows him as well.
Okay, I'm gonna get to the last question. I wanna try to keep this below 30 minutes, mainly so my computer doesn't crash on this video. What are the best B2B companies to follow on social media? That do social media well. Who do you recommend? Like 3 companies.
This is a difficult question because, as we said before, many businesses do it wrong.
Yep.
So you have to wonder who does it right, and maybe you have seen it on my profile. I participate from time to time to participate to now on the social media chat or SEO chat on Twitter from the SEM Rush team.
Okay.
It's SEM Rush chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think these I wanted to say guys, but they are
guys
mostly women, I think.
Yeah.
These women are really performing very well in the B2B arena.
I'm gonna keep a note.
But even they have some things I could optimize.
Oh, interesting.
For instance, on Facebook, they have several languages on Facebook, on their Facebook page. So when I visit them from Germany, I get to see the German one, and I can't even choose. I have to if I want to share something from the Facebook page, I can't, because it's I always get redirected to the German one.
Oh, interesting.
So even they have some issues.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to see someone on Twitter who's really good at business Twitter and socializing and listening and engaging and including people, it's really SEM Rush.
Okay.
And it's not just their chats; they're really doing great work all the time.
That's good to know. All right, I'm going to close it out with more about you. Who are your favorite type of clients and why?
Basically, I love clients I don't have to meet in person.
All right, it makes sense.
Yeah, because when I started out as a search engine optimizer back then, I had a lot of local clients. And they always wanted to meet me, and we would talk for hours and hours. Yeah. And then once or twice and 3 times, and then they still wouldn't pay me. Yeah, it was still just conversation. Yeah. And I was like, oh no. When they finally did pay me, it was like 400 euros or something. So I basically spent much more money on them by investing my time than they would actually pay me. Yeah. So then that's one of the main reasons why I chose to go after international clients, because many of them have enough money to risk it. Yeah. And they don't have to meet me and trust me because they have seen that I'm a good looking and serious guy. Yeah. So they just send me an email, ask me for what I can offer, and they know me beforehand, ideally. Yeah. And this is what happened in the last 5 to 10 years, even, because people already know me, and they come through recommendations. Yeah. And they want to work with me, and they are often even my competitors, other SEO people, other bloggers, other social media people, and they just say, hey, we need someone from Germany, or we need someone who can do this or that. Yeah. So basically referrals. Referrals are the perfect one, the perfect clients. And then how can people get a hold of you? And why don't you pitch your little business right now, and so people can reach out to you? Well, you can always visit my homepage, which is on react.com. But it's just more like a business card. Yeah. But when you follow my blog, which is at SEO2.us, you can read a lot of my content from a decade. I have more than 500 articles published there, and you can also read hundreds of other articles on many other publications online. And you can tweet at me. You'll be there. Yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, but at least introduce yourself. I get many people asking me to connect I have never heard of. So then, if you're just new and don't know me yet, then just follow me on Twitter or send me an email. Awesome.
Well, Tad, thanks so much for all your valuable information. Have a great week, and I hope to have you on again in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me again.
All right. See you later.
See you.